what you're gonna do the next step you take in life. You got me singing in my head when I dream about you dancing. And you got me singing with the bass. My love for you is endless. Thank you. Hello. Welcome, everybody, to the LARA FM TV channel, where you're going to find somebody like this in your face. So if you don't like it, don't be here. Get on with yourselves. Get on with yourselves. Woo! Woo-hoo-hoo! Okay, guys. Hi, and welcome back to episode 25. I was going to say a million things at once, and I didn't say anything. I was going to say episode 25, where somebody asked an amazing, great question. What jobs did you have when you left the Sea Org? And I thought, would that be great just to have personal, sweet little cutie pie guests on with us that can also answer that question for themselves as well, because they as well were in the Sea Org. So let me bring up my sweet little special SPTV geniuses. We have Louie and we have Sarah Seltzer. Hi, sweet angel babies.
Hello, Laura.
Yeah. Hi. Everybody adjust your lighting. You got all the light shine on you. How is everybody is I'm just being funny, guys. You're like, we didn't hear about any lighting. You guys, your guys' lighting looks actually epic. You guys look like natural lights. Yeah. Don't I look dark right? Oh, there we go. I just need to move. Just need to move the energy.
Yeah, there we go.
Clear the. Oh, there we go.
Oh, I've missed this space in this moment.
Yeah. So for those watching, hi everybody, welcome back to LARA FM TV. Today, episode 25, we're talking about this question: what jobs did you have when you left the Sea Org? So thank you all for being here in the chat. And yes, hi Angel Babies from Purple Groovy 69. Yes. Yes, good. Cece just got a notice from your YouTube, Louis, that said your YouTube is working. That is
yay.
Yippity doo dah. We are.
My needle is floating.
Your needle, your TA is floating.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for being here. So we may have another guest popping in at some point, but in the meantime, I just thought we would start with us and talk about the different jobs. As we've been talking about in SPTV, we've clearly given people this our stories, and we've told them, you know, the difficulty of just leaving the Sea Org, but then having to get a job and to start existing in the outside world and all of that, and how the setup process for leaving the Sea Org does not help anybody for their outside world adventure of whether that's, you know, sticking to Scientology stuff or not, whatever it is. There's always some crazy jobs to be had or some inexperience, especially when you have only, you know, whatever you've learned from the Sea Org, and then, you know, that's it. There's not like, you know, you don't have your education or your GED or your master's or something waiting for you in case the Sea Org didn't work out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nothing. You're right. Damn.
Right. So, and also not only that, I know that, I don't know if you guys had this, but when you left the Sea Org, you had to sign you know, agreements, or I know Sarah definitely X'd out on that. She was like, no, I'm not signing any of this. This doesn't feel right. I think but we had to sign something when we were leaving the Sea Org that said we weren't allowed to get any jobs from people that we knew from the Sea Org. You were not allowed to use any public connections that you met in the Sea Org to, you know, get or anything that we had to sign all this stuff. So basically you would go out and just be like, well, then how am I going to get a job or anything? Like, how is any of this going to, like, where do I start? And so this question of what jobs did you have when you left the Sea Org, I find was very vast for just myself to answer.
Can I ask both of you, how old were you when you left?
You go, Louie.
October 3rd, 2013. I was born in 1982. I think I was 31. I don't remember.
And
31? Wait. No, wait. You're 31? Really?
That's really late, 31.
Wow.
Right, Louis? When did you go in?
I went in when I was 17, and I joined 1999. Yeah, so I was in
Wow.
there.
Good. Yeah, you were in there.
That's like your adult life right there.
I know, it sucked.
But even
Fucking
being
sucked.
17, what were you doing before 17?
I was at Delphi, Oregon.
Okay, so he was still groomed in the Scientology.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like you were still in the branches of this Scientology manipulation.
Yeah, and then before that, I was at Delphi, San Diego. Before that, I was at Delphi, Los Angeles, Academy for Smart Kids. And then I think
they got you real nested in
homeschooled.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, I was
And
groomed from the
homeschooled, I'm
beginning,
sure,
for
by
sure.
are your parents Scientologists, or were they before?
They were both class 6s.
Oh, well, there
That's
you
what I
go.
became later. Go figure. Like I was like trying to emulate them or something.
Yeah, or something. Yeah, who would figure?
Yeah,
you
or
know,
something.
Like imagine
And so,
that.
Louis, you and Sarah knew each other maybe from ASHO or from Sea Org positions or something like that?
ASHO, yeah.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah.
ASHO. I can tell you what I remember.
Yeah.
briefly.
Yeah.
Okay, so I remember you were on the EPF, and I think it was a category B, and you
Kind
were
of,
in
yeah.
ILO before that, and then you needed something. You needed a PTS handling or a correction list on a OW write-up, and so
Oh.
I said I'd do it. It was part of my lower conditions, and then I did like a PTS CS1 on you. And I think I did a CS79, and which is a PTS interview. And then that helped you. You got back into ASHO. I don't remember what you were doing after that, like what your post was. I don't remember interacting with you.
Do you remember any of this, Sarah?
Yeah, I actually
Like her face is shocking me. Her face is
because
like,
he's
I can
so
see her
specific.
processing. Yes, I
It's
can
like,
see her like
whoa, like I remember seeing you. Like I remember seeing you around more than I remember like that specific interaction, which now I'm like, oh yeah, because I came from Int because I was trying to get Int to kick me out. That they ended up
you
putting
wanted
me
to leave.
Yeah, I was trying. I tried to leave several times. I finally did, obviously, but
Yeah, and
I didn't
the
realize you
PTS
were the one who
handling
did
helped
that.
you. The
Wow.
PTS handling helped you stay. It helped you decide to stay.
I was gonna say, please, Louis, put your quotations.
Yeah.
Some people listening are like, "Oh my God, Louis is actually still Scientologist." He thinks it really did help her.
Wow.
But yes,
Yeah.
it helped you. But wait, Sarah, I
Yes.
think you were telling us a story on one of our previous episodes on LFM TV, about you like being in this PTS handling situation where you were like handling something and you told them you wanted to leave, and so you were like, there was right? Do you remember?
Yeah. No, I mean, I talked about it, but I remember more like the big spaces, and I don't remember the spaces in between. Like even as he's bringing it up, I can feel my system like, oh shit, that shit's still in there a bit. Like, oh, whoa. And then even you saying it helped you, I'm like, oh shit. Oh shit. What is it helping? Who is it helping? You know, and oh my God, I did stay there after I did this handling that was supposed to handle me so I would do what was right. Anyway, so wow. Thank you for having like such clear memory.
You're welcome. I remember more too, if you want to know.
Yes. Yes.
There's I did a lot of word clearing on you in regards to I did a lot of method 7 word clearing on you, even though that was kind of like illegal. It's like a no thing. You're not supposed to do that in the Sea Org. Only on illiterates are you supposed to do method 7, which is like explaining every single word that you don't know. But I did an M7 on you on the bridge and stuff, and that was like part of your handling to make you stay.
Yeah. Did you
It
do
worked.
when I was it worked?
Sorry. I
I
do
love
feel
this.
guilty.
No, I love this.
no, it's cool. It's cool you can say you're sorry. Ryan Silver is the one who what do you call it? Pulled me in, right? To the Sea Org, recruited me. And I saw her out at Tony's bar out in downtown Los Angeles once, and she came up to me when she saw me and she apologized, you know. So it's kind of cool though to get to actually like interact with all of us who
Yeah,
essentially,
hell
you
yeah.
know,
It's
roped
amazing.
each other in though, right? Like um we all were
We
kind
were
of the
all part
problem.
of yeah, we were all
Yeah.
purposely though. We were all definitely
On
trained to be
purpose.
part of the problem on
We were
purpose for real.
clones.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
also I was
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
say I caught you right when Louis started saying things. I caught your face being like, and I know when me and Sarah have had intense conversations about all
Yeah.
kinds of subjects, and I know when I know our faces when we're processing or we're really thinking about something, and I could see her dropping down into that memory and remembering the PTS. Oh, I'm PTS. I have to handle this. That whole vibe of like.
Mhm.
But anyways, and not only that, but also the apology that you said, "Oh, I'm so sorry" just now, and her remembering right away her friend being like, "I'm so sorry that, by the way," but when, you know, the same apology, like that's what we want on SBTV is for all of us to be able to openly, it's like actually healing for us to be able to say, "I'm so sorry that my soul never wanted to be a part of that and I was forced into that and then I ended
Yeah.
up doing that to you. I am so sorry about my doing, but wow, look at this whole big picture we were in." You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
just love seeing this. This is why I love this. So yeah, we'll get into the jobs after the Sea Org, but this is also this is also so important and so key for exactly what this is all for. Like this is so important and so key for exactly what we're doing this all for healing, for opening pockets. There are things that somebody will just come like tell me online and I'm like, oh my God, I totally forgot. Or even healing, like just talking to Jeff Hawkins about knowing the fact that he worked directly under L. Ron Hubbard and like did go to the ship under L. Ron Hubbard's orders and everything. Like I'm just like, wow, that's why my mom, out of everybody in the base, at the int base, respected him more because not everybody at Gold Base even ever spoke to L. Ron Hubbard, let alone was even alive or around the base when L. Ron Hubbard existed. So it's really, really cool to even hear that Jeff Hawkins had this whole status from L. Ron Hubbard
Yeah.
pulling him into
That was
to
interesting.
Scientology, and then him being so close to my mother in such a way where like she had this undeniable respect for Jeff, which now makes sense because it's like we all were groomed into this. I don't want to degrade the branches and trees of life, but we were all put under this tree and all these little branches of like, oh, you think you're doing your own life, but you're really stuck to this route and you're really stuck to what we're telling you.
Yeah.
And so to grow out of that in a way and on our own now is insane and crazy. And to even have a question like, what jobs did you have when you left the Sea Org? It's like, well, let's talk about first our interaction in the Sea Org. Do you remember me word clearing you? Okay. So like, it's just crazy how we were in one world and it's like we're in another world, Planet Scientology, you know?
Well, and can I say
Crazy.
something about you say it was like a bunch of no-nos, you know, that you were doing or with the unsettling. And I think they did a lot of that to me in order, you know, it's like they make the technology fit their purpose, right? For the purpose of because I was putting my feet in
Good way to put it.
course, like just like I was trying to have them kick me off because it was going so slow, and instead they just treated me like I didn't know it. You know, it was like this thing to just like you said, like use the technology. So I'd say, you know, so it would work, but not necessarily even to the guidelines, as they put it.
And how that, right, not to L. Ron Hubbard's policy, but how Louis understood that maybe you were going through a horrible time or you were possibly connected to somebody who's suppressing you. And so he's like, okay, what would be a good solution for this if this is the thing that we are all believing in and that we are stuck in? He's here. Actually, as you apologize, you're also there. You were doing that to help her. That's the whole reason you started. So your apology.
I treated Sarah, you as a case. I'm just dealing with your case, which is what is inside your folder, all of the information about your past experiences and what you thought about them and how to address that. And I'm not addressing a real person, you know. With Scientology, you're just addressing this case.
And
I
to
don't
be
know if that
fair,
makes sense.
no, I mean, even on an energetic like standpoint, for me, I remember there was definitely a distance, you know, from me to you. Hello.
Hi, everybody. Welcome, Liz. We have her on the stage. I just wanted Louie and Sarah to finish what they were saying. But hi, Liz. Welcome.
Hi.
But yeah, but I mean, that's basically it, though. Just that idea that I remember, especially with people in ethics, it was like they were over there and I'm over here. I even lived with someone who was in ethics in my dorm, and I'm blanking on her name. Curly hair, was a rancher. She was very like, anyway. But yeah, there was always
Laura
this.
Kinderman.
It might have been. Honestly, I like have a pretty big.
Was she in Asho Day ethics?
Asho Day ethics, yes. 100%.
Laura Kinderman, Michelle Sizer, Jennifer.
Remember Michelle
Oliva.
Sizer.
Wella McDonald.
I know Wella McDonald.
Curly. No, wasn't her?
It wasn't her, but I definitely know Wella
I
McDonald.
love that they're listing off all the people. They're like, but.
It's like a puzzle.
Well,
it's
Lou
like
knows all the people.
And it's like a puzzle. There's only certain amount of pieces. It's not like there was so many random people you didn't know. It was like, well, who were the people we know?
No, I think I lived with Wella for a bit, and she didn't like living with the group she was with because we were all kind of out ethics and a little rowdy, and like we had a net Apodaca who was a net Apodaca, and yeah. Blessings to you, dear woman. But Wella McDonald actually wrote me up at one point because she didn't think I was showering enough.
Really?
Like, I was like, no, I totally am showering on a regular basis.
Stinky
I don't know what you're talking about.
You stinky girl. And were you showering? I don't think so, right? Because you had to fight for showers anyways. Like you.
Well, that was the thing. I'd stay up late, like, and so I would sometimes go and shower, but most of the time I'd be like hanging out when it was like time to take showers because that's the only time you got to like hang out with everybody. And you didn't have to fight with like all the various women in the shower and get naked in front of everybody.
100%.
I know,
and the
right?
hot temperature and the water running out and becoming freezing cold.
Yeah.
After 3 people took a 10-minute shower, not even 5 minutes, 10-minute shower. That's not even thought of in the Sea World.
You know, the first thing I did besides have a mental breakdown, I did love taking an hour shower, like right after I got out of the Sea Org. I was like, I sat in there and I'm like, rub-a-dub-dub, give this bitch a hug. You know, I was literally like all about like
selfish time. We were every time I take a bath still to this day, I swear to God, I can't help but think, oh, the freedom of being able to sit here for an hour if I want in this bath. And I can't help but think I was never allowed to do this in the Sea Org. And even if I was allowed to do the Sea Org on a day off, I would never be taking a bath for myself. No, I would be watching some movie I didn't see, something that was the outside world. It was never about us. It was never about care for us. So like to take a bath right now in the outside world seems like you have all the time in the world.
Hey, now when I get sunburned, I'm like, guess what, bitch? I'm not in lower conditions.
The small freedoms in life. I was talking about how exciting it is to have a freaking Q-tip when you get out of the shower that some human has designed that just gets right in those little nooks of your ear. How sweet. What a smart thing that some human created. These little things that never would we have ever even had joy in finding in the Sea Org. Ever. It would have never crossed our paths.
Buying a pair of jeans. Just saying.
I don't think I ever bought a pair of jeans. I either stole them or it was hand-me-downs. literally.
Okay, well.
They gave me that $1,000 when I left. You know,
and $1,000.
How'd you get $1,000? I got $500.
I got 500, and they spent 200 and something of it on a plane ticket, and so I really only had like 250.
Yeah, and the first thing I bought was an iPad Mini.
Oh, that must be the new. Well, let's think, because iPads weren't around when I got out.
Was it the iPad or the iPod? What did you say? What did you say?
I was so hungry. You know, I had no money because I spent all my money on my iPad Mini. That was the first thing. I went to the gallery and I bought it because I, wanted the Mess universe.
You bought it in the Glendale Galleria?
But what did you know that was a way?
St. Louis.
Did you know that there was a way to like start like go on the internet? Did you know really what the internet was? Because I didn't know what the fuck the internet was or anything when I left the Sea Org.
Yeah, I used to read all the negative boards on YouTube and stuff. I went on the internet.
Joking? Are you joking? You're joking.
No,
Louis.
I'm not joking.
He's not joking, Sarah.
I used to love listening to it because I thought they were so stupid, like all the enemy lines that they were saying and stuff. And I loved Tommy Davis, the way he would. Yeah, I used to love how he would like go out there and fight for us. I was all into that. That's how much I was.
Oh, so you were looking, but in supporting of like almost like you could have been hired for OSA.
I'm like,
yeah.
I just know Tommy Davis is the real person. It's not that nice.
Yeah,
it is not. He is not a nice human being.
What does he say on his thing? What does he say when he's shouting? You've done it. When what is he saying when he gets him?
When he gets him going. Remember.
Anywho, let's not go there. Gross.
I used to love that though. When I was in the Sea Org, I went on YouTube and watched it.
So then when you were when you got that iPad, you were kind of just like, I'm free to listen to music videos or YouTube or what?
I wanted
just
to
like, at least I'll have this.
I wanted to own something that they weren't going to steal from me.
And that was valuable. That felt valuable.
Oh yeah, I mean, iPad is freaking awesome.
I mean, you owned your uniform, right?
I mean, I had like 4 shirts for like 10 years. It was so nasty.
I was going to say we didn't even own our uniforms. It was like,
I was like, wait a minute. How did you own your uniform? Because mine came with a hope and a prayer.
Yeah, if I was lucky enough.
I paid for a suit. Yeah.
Your Christmas bonus you spent on new uniform shoes because they gave you these grandma like crazy ass pokey ass heel shoes that like you're walking and standing on a reception floor, which is marble floor all the time, or you're walking down auditing rooms of clink, clink, clink. Yeah. It's everything's marble. So you're standing on cement or marble the whole time in these fucked up shoes that are literally draining your blood down to your feet. And then they have a hole in them because you've been using them for 5 years and you get a KR for being out PR and out of uniform on public lines while you're auditing somebody on OT7.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Who's paying thousands and thousands of dollars a fucking minute basically to be there. It's like, you can't give me some shoes.
Well, here's the question.
What the fuck?
So I'm just saying they never gave us stockings, but we were always required to be in some stockings. I don't know why everybody else had it so easy to put on a pair of stockings, but for some reason I must have been like, when God was handing out the instructions for stockings, I must have been in the gay aisle, because I would sit there and try to put on stockings and I'd get like to the knee and I'd be like, ah! And then instantly I'd have like fingerprints in my nylons and I'm like, nobody would notice.
Would you get in trouble for? Yeah. You would. Would they say you have a runner
uniform,
a runner down your stocking that's out of uniform? That's out PR. You can't be giving you can't be EPFIC or anything with running stockings.
Try running while I'm wearing a skirt because I'm supposed to be the EPFIC, and all of a sudden everybody's like, isn't this run fun? You try to run in some heels. I promise. Just try to run in those heels.
Okay, let me roll back really quick. So did Sarah Seltzer, did you ever know Liz Ferris at all by any chance?
going over that in my head.
I feel like I saw her face going, she's starting to look familiar.
Were you at CLO, at EPFIC, or?
No, I was CC Network.
You were CC. Okay. The only time I might have run into you then, if you were CC, was when I was working on the gala.
And I worked on the gala oh God.
So do you remember seeing Liz running the EPFers on the gala event? That's probably maybe where you saw.
So I was the FLO EPF working on the gala.
So maybe they mixed them a little bit when they needed to do an all hands and get the gala event set up.
I'm trying to remember if we did do. I mean, we built like the stages. We did like a lot of stuff that should have been paid out to like high paid individuals.
Yeah.
instead of a 14-year-old girl who's like figuring out how to put panels in a stage.
Can't figure out nylons, but hey, let me figure out how this IKEA, the IKEA tables go together. You have to flip it and it has to look a certain way. No, I hate IKEA now. I can't stand the idea of putting stuff together now.
Hey, send it to me, I'll do it.
Yeah, there's people who can help you, Liz.
And then I'll mail it
you
back.
You don't gotta hate on IKEA so quick. Okay, but so
a while to get IKEA.
So Liz is Celebrity Center. This is interesting. And then Louie and Sarah know each other from ASHO, right? Is it ASHO Day or ASHO Foundation? Is that kind of all the same thing?
ASHO Day.
Okay,
yeah,
ASHO Day.
They were very different. ASHO F was like a bunch of underage kids that could barely hold their org together and like often didn't even get full meals because they weren't pulling enough money in.
Wait a minute. I want people to understand this. I want to understand this. I want to understand this, and I want people listening to understand this. ASHO Day, and ASHO Foundation are on the same block, right?
Mm-hmm. They're the same building. We operate in the same building.
Do you get where I'm coming from?
Mind you, yes. No, I totally. But you also realize though, even if I'm saying that,
it's a mental trap. You even have compartmentalized physical things that aren't even physically real. Like, ASHO found you two were both just saying it's completely separate. They suck, and they just.
She's like, it's like the Yankees and the Red Sox, man.
You're playing the same game.
I know. Well, that's the thing. Even as I'm saying it, it's like, for one, that's like what we were sold. Like, ASHO F's a bunch of losers. Like, it wasn't their fault. It was a bunch of kids who had no idea what the fuck they were doing, and they're supposed to be like selling again, like this, like, money business to people. And it's like, they're just like floundering. And instead of like, let's give them a decent meal and a day off so they can feel good about themselves. Instead, it's just like I remember they worked them so hard and they penalized them like all the time because they were, out ethics or slackers or whatever.
So, okay, quick question to break in on this. What was the difference in terms? Why was it different? ASHO Foundation, and in a quick way, don't try to run down the whole organization.
Schedule, one word.
Was it just schedule? Is it nighttime and day shift or something?
No, it's just how the Sea Org schedule is worked out. Our schedules are different. Our muster
kind of like starboard and port on a ship,
right? But it was night and weekends. ASHO F, right, Lou?
Yeah. But they were there working all the time anyways. They were just
like us
on
too.
call.
I mean,
so did ASHO Foundation deal with public or something? Or both did, right? Did ASHO Foundation deal with public? They did.
They both
did, public.
What was the difference? Literally, quickly tell me. What's the difference between ASHO Foundation, other than the schedule, ASHO Foundation, and ASHO Day?
By LRH? Are you talking about by LRH? Are you asking for an LRH answer?
No, I'm just wondering, just as a Sea Org member, if I'm like, hey, by the way, for ASHO Day, what's the difference between us?
Okay, they're different orgs. They were two different orgs, right? I mean,
but what does that mean? I'm asking.
They had different captains. Like they had their captain.
Why?
We had our captain.
Why? I'm wondering. Like flag crew in the FSO, there's FSO and then there's flag crew. There's FC and FSO. FSO was the service organization that handled all the public auditing and The flag crew handled the land base and stuff like that. So yes, we were still in the same building in the same areas and seeing things like that. Totally different organizations. What is the difference between ASHO Foundation and ASHO Day?
Night and day, literally, right? I mean, and weekends.
Is that what it, Louie? Why are you just
Lou
going?
Was there more, correct. But yeah, like I'm like,
here's my statement, and maybe it's coming from a kid that grew up in a cult.
Somebody in the chat is definitely being like blah blah blah, just saying exactly.
Okay,
right? Is there a chat here? Can
I thought when I was a kid that Ash O'Day and that they both had their own part of the building, and then there was supposed to be like something happened where there were supposed to be two separate buildings for them, but they never had the staff to be two separate buildings.
So here's what Day and Foundation is. The Day is supposed to handle the Western United States. That's their public.
Right,
And
that's what I was
Foundation
getting. I knew there was
handles
something.
the greater LA area. So they deal with the nights and the weekends. So part-time public are like the Foundation public
that come in for like during they get off their job and they might be able to work. They might go to course on the evenings, and then also right, which are also the out ethics, not so on purpose Scientologists that are like drinking a beer or something on the weekends, and you're trying to get them in for a course at night instead of going to the bar and flirting with another Sea Org Scientologist or something.
Well, and now you reminded me, Lou, how we would often fight over public as well. Like they'd be like, oh, this one's going this time of day, so they should actually, or they're from LA. And I now remember that. You're reminding me of all of the things.
All of the wonderful.
I'm all suddenly Celebrity Center in the Manor. We're so easy.
Yeah, CC had a great schedule, and they had cushy birthing, and they had such great pay. That's what we were all told.
Yeah, you guys you were the actual celebrities yourself.
Yeah, we were also told that we had nice uniforms, and let me tell you,
no.
They looked nice. They looked nice until you bent over, and then they're
and then everyone got to see your chi-chis, and then all of a sudden, oh my god,
you get an out-to-date report. You're flirting. You're showing your little fat ass titties.
Yeah, I do remember you had a great cafeteria though. Like your food was way nicer.
That's what I heard too. Yeah.
Way nicer than FLO or
it's true.
CLO. Like both of them.
No, maybe it was just the environment though, and the music, because don't they all have the same thing in the canteens? The bars, the this, or like these are the options you have.
It's buffet eating.
It's buffet eating.
Yeah, but you had much nicer. But I know because I ate there as FLO, like EPFer, and I was like, ooh, this is fancy, even from my FLO cafeteria, which is supposed to be like international.
Yeah, we did have a really good cook. Like, I'll be honest, like I hate chicken pot pie, but he made like the best chicken pot pie. Ooh. Even though I don't want to go back into the Sea Org, I would at least have a chicken pot pie with him. As long as it didn't require me to be in the Sea Org.
That's sweet, Liz.
The chicken pot pie. It's right there.
It's those small things that also keep you in the Sea Org.
I'm good. The chicken pot pie is
Hamburger
not that good.
Tuesday has kept me in the Sea Org. That's a joke.
Oh my god! Yeah, we could do a whole episode on things that kept us in the Sea Org.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah.
Because it changed over time. So it would be like, oh, now I'm old enough to flirt. Now I'm possibly having being married. Like I never was like, oh, I can ethically fuck. I can ethically have sex. Is this a thing? Because they've always like canceled everything out of that my whole life. Like, don't flirt, don't do that. Why you touch the boob? What were you doing? What were you thinking? Where was that going? What was it leading to? Like, and now, so one of the things was getting married, which your only options is in the Sea Org. You can only marry in the Sea Org. So your options are literally up to one or two people. You're kind of like, oh, okay, well, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Right? Am I wrong? And how many times did you almost get married to somebody in the Sea Org where you were like, Liz, didn't you get married or no? Is that
no?
I got married 3 times. I'll tell you all 3 times. I got married. Totally. Jennifer.
Totally love it.
Delphi. We went and joined the Sea Org together. We got married. Boom.
Wait, that's Jennifer from Ethics? I'm seeing a picture of her in my head.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
But then we got divorced 3 years later. Then I got married to Leah.
Wait, can we talk about what was not
let
like
me give you
why,
the outline first, and then you can ask me about the one you think is the one you want to ask about. How's that sound?
Well, I was just gonna say, when you first divorced the first one, was it because sometimes these divorce and stuff happened because you got transferred to another post and then you're not seeing them anymore? And
that was the second one. That happened to me on the second one. She moved to CC.
Okay.
She was
and then
a
the first one, were you just out of love, or it wasn't a really wasn't out of love? I can't even say that.
So
the first one, were you why did you divorce really quickly?
We were working together and it was just a pressure cooker.
Annoyed. You annoyed
HCO.
the shit out of
We
each
worked
other?
in security department for Ash O'Day. And it was just, we were at each other's throat on post, and then we weren't allowed to talk to each other about anything. And then, you know, it just slid downhill.
Okay, so you're working together, and then they fucked it up because you can't be yourselves around each other all the time anyways.
We can't even talk to each other about our feelings.
You can't, exactly.
We're not allowed because it's
N theta.
That's
N theta, because you guys are on high ethics posts. Yeah. That's crazy. Okay, so the second one you were married was because they moved to another thing, and you're like, oh well, we're not married, and we're not gonna go be at the same org, so we got to move on, right? That's a kind of like the only reason you really divorce somebody is because they're the Sea Org member has moved to another organization, and you're like, hey, they're never coming back.
I moved over there.
Back to you went. How did you get permission? You got okay to move there because your wife is there?
Yes.
So that's another thing, is they do want to keep you in the Sea Org and say, hey, look, we're working with you. We understand that you have this commitment with your beautiful wife. And so we're going to meet you halfway, since you're so dedicated to being in the Sea Org. We're going to let you go be with your wife somewhere in a close organization.
But I'm guessing you had to probably write a request, right? And send it up line.
I had to get approved. I had to get approved by a religious technology center to live at Celebrity Center. Yeah, I had to get approved through all security.
So the one directly across the street.
I had to get a sec check, a confessional. I had to get everything to get over there, you know?
That's what I'm saying about, that's why I first was like, why did you leave your first wife? Why did you leave your second? Because in the Sea Org, you're either like my mom and dad, they were married, committed to each other in the Sea Org Scientology frame of mind. They're never going to get divorced, right? So to hear that, even that my mom and dad have been separated for so long, and know that there's a possibility that they're just not together and they're just not going to tell anybody because they're trying to keep the PR in of Scientology or whatever it is. It's just incredible, because it never has anything to do with the couple or the people that love each other or they're possibly in a marriage. It's always about what is the best for Sea Org and Scientology. And if that means keeping them together in an organization so they feel that we actually care and that we're not neglecting their marriage, then we'll help them do that so that they'll stay longer in the long run. Right?
Yes.
That's why I'm talking about. Okay, so third wife, what happened with the third wife? You wanted to leave the Sea Org?
I wanted to leave, and I couldn't tell her. I knew it. I couldn't talk to her about it.
So that's the thing. It wasn't even actually, I mean, not that you ever had like a great start anyways to be with your, oh, this is going to be a great marriage. But like they control every aspect no matter what.
Yeah. She was actually at INT too. She used to work at Gold. Bonnie.
What's her name?
Bonnie Mason.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I'm sure a lot of people know her.
It's weird that I know all these different people. Like the Jennifer Bubke, my first wife, she works with Julian Schwartz. She was like the excellent guru administrative writer for all of these programs and things for Julian Schwartz on these like sticky public situations. And then boom, Leah Silva, I'm married to, she's out auditing the Duggan kids and recovering the Duggans, and now they're like 350 million in with Scientology.
Yep, and I remember them.
Married to Bonnie Mason. She's like fucking Gold. She probably witnessed Dave Miscavige beating people. You know, I had no idea, and she was always emotional. How could I ever care for her? She could never tell me anything that happened to her or that she ever saw. It just hurts me so bad, you know.
But also you now understand that it can also heal the not know of like why now I understand why, because you were at Gold and you weren't allowed to say any of that. Now it makes sense. Now this is why it hurt me so much. I thought it was about me, but it was being me, my thoughts and everything that I thought was real were all being manipulated around me.
Yeah, even in her folders, like I audited her
everything
to help her get back on the bridge and stuff. And I read and I did a whole thing on all her folders, and it's redacted. Like the information from Gold is redacted regarding her. It's just, it's like,
Oh
That
yeah,
I
makes
they
couldn't
did that.
a
even
lot of
get
No,
the
no,
shit.
information to help her.
yeah. No, they had a whole unit of people that were Gold approved and that went to Gold and that were allowed to go through all the cadet PC folders. All the, like, there were people at Flag who were not allowed to look at any of the Int Ranch cadet folders because they had too much information about the Gold base and Int Ranch and things that went wrong and all kinds of things. Like, so even when we were shipped off from the Int Ranch to the EPF at Florida and to wherever else, there are certain people that there were only certain people that were allowed to look in those folders because of the fact that we were raised at the Int Ranch.
Wow. That's, yeah.
Do you remember Amanda Smith or Sasha, or not Sasha? Why am I?
I do remember
his name?
Sasha, cadet Sasha.
Sasha
no,
LaPlane.
Yeah.
No,
Sasha LaPlane was at the
Robin. Sorry, it's Robin Smith. It's Amanda and Robin Smith.
I remember a Robin Smith. Yes, I remember Cecilia Smith. No,
No, Cecilia.
Were they at CC Int Asho?
Robin was at, or Robin is the girl. Or okay, let's rewind that. Robin is the brother. Amanda Smith was at Asho, and then she got taken to Gold.
Doesn't ring a bell right now. What year was it? Do you have any idea?
Sometime when I was a child. The same way I reiterate most of my childhood. At some point in time, I was a kid.
This chunk of time.
Yeah.
This chunk of time. From 1 years old to 10.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah. Somewhere.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, we move on. Okay, Renee B. Question: was showering with others super uncomfortable? Doing group showers after PE in high school was super uncomfortable. No one likes their own body at that age. I don't know about that last part. No one likes their own body at that age, but was showering with others super uncomfortable? That's what we did our whole lives. Showering with elderly men, or obviously women. Just for this year, you're only allowed to be women and men unless you're married in the Sea Org. That's it. There's no other gray zones of any sort whatsoever. You are not to be sleeping in a room with another woman if there's a male in there at all whatsoever, no matter what age, whatever. There's women dorms and female and males. And then it doesn't matter their age. It doesn't matter if you're a young 19-year-old or if you're gay or straight and you're a grandmother of, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're a woman pedophile. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your auditing level is. It doesn't matter anything. They shove you in. You're in the Sea Org. You're a body. You're not, you shouldn't be aberrated. You shouldn't be thinking that anything other than your job and your post. And if you are, we're going to audit that out and find that out about you. That's as pretty simple as it gets. And if you feel weird about elderly women or people above your, just older than you changing around you and you seeing things that you've never seen before, then that's on you. That's on you. And we're going to audit.
HDO
Yeah. I'm
about
reporting
people
so-and-so
shitting
for
in the showers and like pissing in the shower, and then other people would write them up, blah blah blah, pee in the shower just before I took a shower. It's like,
I remember
the weirdest shit.
One time,
all shower stuff.
When I was in the EPF, there was a woman on there that was in her 60s. Now I was 17. So the first time I saw her naked, I almost ungayed myself. And then look over and she's rubbing herself down with my towel. And I've never wanted to cry so much in my life. And then all I could think of as a kid is like, why do I care that her naked old body is on my towel? If I care. But that's all we had. We never had like group showers. Like we had the one shower at the
but not the bigger picture. I mean, not bigger, but why is this elderly human using your towel? Why does this person not have their own towel? Why are they using the same toothbrush, same toothpaste? Why are you asking me to borrow a shaver? Why? All of this. Why do you smell like you haven't showered for a week? There's all these abnormal things from people who are either underage, who had never learned or experience in this life, or any sort of life where that's a norm, or you're elderly and you are, no, none of this. Flip-flops.
What did I miss?
That's a joke.
You got to wear flip-flops.
Heck yeah, because some of those girls had athlete's foot, and their feet would smell like it would smell through towels, and it would smell through layers of. No, I did not know athlete's foot had a smell until the Sea Org.
Mm-hmm. I got it in FLO EPF actually, and I didn't know how to treat it, and so I got it was some sort of, it might have been Epsom salts even, but I didn't I was 14. I never treated this before, and again, it was going around our dorm, and so I was just having to deal with it. I put it directly in my shoes. And burning, so much pain, and because I had no fucking clue. I was supposed to soak my feet in water, which we didn't have time to do anyway, right?
That's what I'm saying. When are you gonna have time? You don't have time for a bath.
Bugs.
Whenever, even when a doctor said she should rest or take it easy, they were like, but she's fine to do the regular school or regular, if a doctor, if they would go in an emergency room, and the doctor would be like, oh, well, they should be fine to just go back to regular activities, but just take it easy. Regular activities was work and muster and get in line and wake up. And so heavy work was like, okay, we'll just have her wipe down the tables while the other people scrub the toilets and dig the trenches. So she can't use the shovel because she just broke her arm and she hit her head really hard. So they're not thinking. It's just they're just insane. So regular work means still you're getting up at 6:30, you're getting at this time. It's just insane. I legitimately had a concussion. And my head, I had to go to the emergency. They did a CAT scan, and they were saying that my brain had been hit so hard. It was almost like my brain was still vibrating from the thing. And so I was having these dizzy kind of I would be awake, but it would be vibrating, and it would just shut down my brain basically. And it was because I had crawled into the maintenance shed because the adult that was supposed to be there was late, didn't open up the shed for all the kids to get all their tools. I'm saying kids because that's literally what we were, but cadets, to go get their tools to do all their gardening, the projects to keep the property nice and perfect, to make us look beautiful and happy all the fucking time. And so during this time, the adult didn't show up. Kimberly Alcock lifted me up through the window, and I said, okay. And I let go of the window frame to go forward to jump in. And she thought I said more or something, and she lifted me up. So I lost balance and went head first, hitting my head, and woke up to the adult who should have opened the shed going okay, I don't know how long that took. And they opened. Anyways, and long story longer, all I'm saying is that there's so many things that we thought were just so normal. All these things, these normalized things where everything in every situation of everything I just said was completely abnormal. There's no reason. There's no reason for a person at any point in pain, even you, Liz, when you had your sunburns, or when my friends who I know from the cadet who get assigned treason for hats not wearing because they had to go lay down on their bunk bed, completely uncared for. It's not oh, you took time off of your work or your post job. Now you're going to go, we're going to give you time to, no. You're not even being cared for properly. You're being told what did you do to pull this in? Well, now somebody's going to have to give you a nerve assist or a touch assist when you have a sunburn. Why? Because L. Ron Hubbard says this is how you handle the body.
Yep.
Body calm. Nobody should be touching you when you have a sunburn. There's just basic things that were so normal. Oh, I don't want to tell her my sunburn hurts this much because then I'll get assigned treason, because I just saw what happened to the other cadet who did that. And so we grow up into the Sea Org with this person, with this state of mind. I was going to say with this personality. Yeah, with this personality. And so you're just getting older, growing. Your body is still growing. And so things are maturing. You're going to turn into fucking crazy. I'm so happy that we're not these psycho people. I mean, sometimes we can get there, but I'm just so glad we're alive and that we're talking about it. This is just crazy, right? And Sarah, thank you for being here, you sweet angel, and everything. All of y'all.
Always. I know for me, the first, I never got a touch assist. They would always assign me a nerve assist when I got sunburns. and it would be like you're gripping the pillow and you're, because don't make a sound. If you make a sound, then you're in trouble.
See, I actually have a memory of nervousness being a positive in that, because I was on the FLOEPF for 6 months, and whenever I'd get my period, you know, we'd get to stop being on decks and go, me or somebody else, another woman that would, you know, it's like, okay, cool, we're having cramps, so we have to go get a nervousness. And it was like a moment where we could actually lie down and be away. And even if it was just one other person, it was just, oh, there's only one other person with me. And we're being productive still while we're in that sort of like quiet, intimate space. I had, one friend in particular at Masha Lenikova, and she was, it was actually nice to do that, you know, rather than everything else, just everything else.
Yeah, that's true.
The running everywhere in heels definitely probably didn't help my legs.
No. Yeah. I sorry I keep laughing about things that aren't funny. It's because it's almost because I don't know what else to do but laugh.
Don't say sorry. We all do it.
Well, but yeah, I also take it all the time. You know, I take it all to heart.
It's hysterically. We do. It is. But all we can do is laugh, because otherwise we can't be on the stream. We will literally have cry. Oh, you want us to really feel how we're feeling?
You want it. Here, come on.
You saw me at the protest twice now. It's not quiet.
Yeah,
it's quite loud. It's quite psychotic.
No, it's not.
I think we should all do the money thing that you were doing earlier. What was it? How'd you do it, Lara?
Did something. So
you were like,
I don't know. Trying to get that money. It's all about that money.
There we go. Screenshot. Yeah, it's all about that money.
Look at us now. And we also need to get the horns. We need to get so Jeff Hawkins told me tonight on my last episode, this is rockers, right? And then this is the I love you. The
that's I love you.
Sign language for I love you. So you love you, rock on, I love you, rock on, I love you, rock on. So you just think that. Love you, rock on. Good, Sarah. You're exercising those thumbs.
Oh, trust me, Pilates instructor right here.
Hold on. I'm the one that needs to exercise those.
Yeah, it's good for you. You gotta stretch that myofascia. It's good. It's great. You know.
Come to me. Come to
me. Objective process.
I feel gayer than I normally.
Put your hands against. Oh my God! Put your hands against mine. Everybody now. Put your hands against mine. Follow them and contribute to their emotion.
To their emotion.
Is it emotion or motion?
Nope. I might pee for that.
What is it? I'll repeat the command. Put your hands against mine. Follow them
and contribute to their motion.
And contribute to
Did you contribute to their motion?
Did you? Ew, I should just let Lou audit. All right, Lou's auditing.
Seriously.
No, you go. I like following your commands.
I'd like to share something as we're speaking and saying this, because I've been doing some of my spiritual work that I do recently, and something that came up for me, this masculine aspect that I learned from my father from Scientology, where I can be so myopic, which I already came to learn that, but it's also I can be just so the myopic focus and the kind of large, I'm like big, but I'm like disregarding the wellness of others around me. And, you know, it can be for like a split second that comes up. And I actually caught it the other day where I was like, whoa, what was that? And it was like this emergence of what like this patterning that I learned, you know, like this like contribute to the you know, we were all contributing to the emotion of Scientology and how to make it work in just the right way, the way that we're supposed to do it, you know, per policy, and also, you know, according to the orders we were being given. And just as we're like sharing these things, I'm like, see, I don't know, it was so clear to me for the first time where I saw this sort of sociopathic aspect of myself, you know, that mirrors the way Scientology perceives the world.
Right. And how they repeat, like how they actually put your hands against mine, follow. They have repetitive hypnotic motions. You're physically, just like people do during yoga, breathing. They're physically doing things over and over so that they can get back to themselves. So they're making you like we say, reprogram. They change you who you are. They're trying to change the person you are to be that, do this and follow them and contribute to their motion. Did you contribute? Are you following the rules? Are you thinking another way? Well, that's backflash. Let's get back in session. Did you not do it? Well, let's pull his withholds. Did you fuck that? Like, it's literally all it goes, let's go to your sexual history. Now, where did this come from? Was that an aberrated thought? When did you fuck the dog? All of a sudden you're talking about, like, it's just insane how it's insane. You know what's insane? For people to try to think that there was actually some decency about Scientology. And the truth is, when things like that start to make sense, it's because that information was stolen through something that was meant to heal and help somebody meditate through something. And they changed it over time. L. Ron Hubbard changed it into his black magic Scientology. I'm going to take all of these other studies that other people and do something completely insanely manipulative instead of doing something great for our future and for humanity. I'm going to make a whole nother language and call it Scientology and make people feel that they're still human in this planet, but that they're superior because they have more knowledge. And it will look the same because it's stolen information from everybody else. Yeah. So they're going to be like, oh, well, it kind of makes sense. No, wrong. That's the whole point, is he's trying to pretend that this ever was his own information or own research or knowledge given to him. Absolutely not. This was stolen info. Follow his track. Follow who his friends were. Follow where he lies and says he went to the military and what awards he got. Just follow it. Do the research. Everything. Look, people, if you watch 48 Hours or crime videos, all these things, there's DNA. You can go back and research and figure out the facts about things without hearing anybody's thing. You can literally get all the information, and you will find that this man created in the same yuck and the same manipulation he started it with is what all of us were becoming and became a part of. And that's why we apologize when we're like, I'm so sorry I did that to you in there. Because that wasn't us. I'm so sorry I acted that way. I'm so sorry I was on some kind of poisonous drug, hypnotic. Like I'm, and as humans, we're now feeling these things and we're going, I'm so sorry I did that because I can feel now. And that's so horrible that I was put in that situation for all of us.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
When I got in my first fist fight, it became apparent because the person kept yelling at me. Did any of you guys go into your TR0 drills if you were ever being yelled at, where the person could just continue screaming at you until you can antagonize them?
Yeah, that was a good, useful one. So you say nothing, you just stare at them?
Say nothing and just stare at them?
Yeah, I don't know. Totally. Whatever you just said, I didn't get it, but it triggered me in an angry way. What did you just ask? Because that made yes, whatever, probably it's yes, because I already feel angry about it. But what was the question?
So like when you get into a fight, do you go immediately into TR0 where the person could just be yelling at you and you're saying absolutely blank face, like you just don't care?
Yeah.
And they're just yelling and yelling and yelling. And all I can think in those moments is, oh, they don't have their TRs in. This will work to my advantage.
Right. They're losing it. They're losing their thing. But yes, I've definitely been angry toward the person that was yelling at me, and I had to keep my TRs in, and that made me angry that I had to keep my TRs in instead of just saying what I felt, which is like, man, you're yelling at me. What do you like? Why are you yelling? Yeah. It's already wrong. Instead of just saying what I wanted to say as a natural human being, I had to keep my TRs in. And that made me so angry that I couldn't just be myself and heal the situation as I could have in my natural way in 5 seconds, instead of just having to keep my TRs in because that was so programmed in my head.
Was that in the Sea Org for you then?
Leaving the Sea Org and being on new jobs. This happened. This happened literally being in a new job where somebody was just so angry that I was working so much and doing so much work and making everybody else sort of look bad. And I was saying, I don't have any control of that. And I was like, well, maybe you should just work harder. And I was like, Why did I get in trouble for that? Why is this person angry at me for it? And I was like, I'm not even working that hard. I have so much free time. I'm excited to come to work because I was so used to working.
Yeah,
all the time.
We definitely have a much different work ethic.
And not knowing, and then being paid what, $8 an hour, whatever the minimum wage was, and doing the work of like 3 people. They were kind of being like, can you fucking get her out of here? She's fucking killing us. And no, when we leave work, we have lives, you know. Yep. I'm like, well, I got to pay my freeloader bill, and this is a Scientology company, so they know why I'm working hard. Here I come. Watch out, gung ho.
I started saving mine. Like, okay, this is how much I want to put towards it. But instead of actually sending it to them, I put it in a savings account. And then as soon as I had the money to pay it off, I'm like,
yeah, I'm gonna go buy an Apple iPad, just like Leah.
I'm not sending it in for my freeloader because nope.
I think that, you know, I think that happened with my brother. That happened with so many people. Like when they leave and they finally are saving up to do the right thing. And then they're kind of like, they're starting to learn the world at the same time as they're also saving up money to pay their freeloader bill, but they're starting to learn the world. So at the same time, they're kind of like, well, you know, that freeloader bill isn't going to ruin my credit, and it's not going to like get in the way of any of these things that if I put this money towards this could get me a car and I can actually get to and from work to make more money. So then you start to think, okay. And then they come at you like, oh, well, I thought you were saving up money. Well, I was, but then I had to get a car, but that's good because in the long run, I'll be able to start paying you guys more money because I can get to and from work. And so you have to like explain yourself why you're not paying your freeloader bill. Didn't you guys get that? Like somebody being like, hey man, when are you getting back online? What's going on?
Yeah.
I got
that's so intrusive.
You know, it's your responsibility to handle this.
But that is so wrong, guys. I want all y'all listening. This is such a wrong thing for any organization, group, religion, cult, anything, to literally saying, when are you going to be paying us back and getting back in our brainwashing mechanism once you've learned that the outside world is just a mess universe?
You mean once you're flipping burgers and that's the best you can do?
They're literally saying, oh, are you having fun? Well, it's actually fake. Like they're trying to convert you back in even when you're in the real outside world, like in your life. Like finally, and so you're going, I'm not going to give this money. I don't want to give this $6,000 that I just saved. I'd rather go get that $3,000, keep working, put the $3,000 on my down payment to get that overly expensive truck because I'm being fooled in that way too, because they can tell I don't know. I've never bought a car before. So they're giving me the worst deal, but I think I'm so lucky. It just all sucks. It all sucks. Oh my God. Back to the fucking, what jobs did you have when you left the Sea Org?
I really did flip burgers. And you know what? I loved it.
Way better than the Sea Org.
Nobody was yelling at me. You had
that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Be like, my burger
throwing
was
some
raw.
cheese on there. You're like, raw, I'll make you a new one. No problem. Got you.
No problem.
I'll pay for it. I'll pay for it if I fucked up. I got it. I don't mind the 75 cents or whatever it is. You know, like, wow.
I did. I loved it.
I would say one of the things though I would say is that I didn't understand the concept of holding a job when I left the Sea Org. So again, like overworking, like doing too much. And then people being like, why are you working too much or making us all look like fucking idiots is one of the first reasons why I got let go, so to speak, from the first job I ever did, which was at Pete's Blue Chips in Eagle Rock. And that's because I was pawned off to the Burpees family. And you know, Tom and Lori Burpee.
Really?
Do you know them?
I think that's on FLOPF with their daughter.
Jenny Burpee.
Yeah, Jenny Burpee.
R.I.P. R.I.P.
Wait, really?
What? Was that a cuss word?
R.I.P. R.I.P. Yeah.
No, how? When?
She's no longer, not too long ago, 6-7 months ago. Jenny Burpee unalived herself. And that was going on so just I want people to know that are watching, there are these are people that are connected to major hardcore Scientologists. Her parents are Tom and Lori Burpee, who work for the Way to Happiness Foundation. They're all over Los Angeles, Glendale. And I don't even know if they're married or still together or whatever, but they are hardcore and always, they're great people. They were sweet people. Like when I tried to live with them, when I knew nothing about the world, and when their son, I forget his name, was trying to have sex with me, literally, at the house that I was at. It was just like, and their like I liked it. It was fun. It was a new world. I didn't understand the concept of anything, like keeping a job.
Or to her?
Who?
Did you talk to Jennifer like before it happened?
Yeah. Her family, the reason that no. We're gonna talk about that privately.
Okay.
We'll talk about Jenny Burpee privately until I can have an episode just for Jenny Burpee.
Okay.
And I want to do that for her. So, and you guys are all welcome. Everybody's welcome for that. I want to do that specifically for Alex Nunn, who also, anyways, there's some people that I really want to do that for. So we'll do that.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about that in that episode for them, so that at least it's on the record and everybody can talk about it and people can, woo. So anyways, back to,
sorry.
Yes. They all went to the Inn Ranch. They were cadets at the Inn Ranch for years. Yeah. Their whole family. And their Bernadette Nunn and their family, their mom and dad went, or not their dad. Their dad is, the one they always were like not allowed to be connected to, I'm PTS to my dad, apparently, because he's out. He's not in the Sea Org. But she was at INT. Their mother was at INT. And me and Alex Nunn were me, Alex Nunn, and Sarah Leobard were like a tripod best friend clique forever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like I was friends with other, obviously, like Susie Flood and Lauren Hollander, everybody else. But like when Alex Nunn, me, and Sarah Leobard, we would do gymnastics. We were doing dances, like making up things that we never showed any. We did so many things that were actually like fun together. And we were really close, super, super close. Like, and I saw him in Hawaii, and then 6 months later about that, I got this, anyways, we'll talk about that later for all these people on their own episodes, but we can also talk about that privately now that we all have connected on SPTV on YouTube.
Yes.
Keeping it light. And also for their own sake, I'm so glad we're all, like it shows that we all have love and intimate reasons why we have so many questions. What happened? What? I knew that, and you knew that. So it's just like people need to have their space. They need to have that, platter of like, here's your platter of words that were never allowed to be said, and here are comments and love from people that love you so much and totally understand why and everything, why you went through and how. And so it's a lot. So we'll decompose it all and open it all up at the same time for that moment.
Open up a can of worms.
But so where were we talking? Oh yeah. So we were talking about like, so leaving. Yeah. I was just kind of slapped off into Eagle Rock with the Burpees, and I never met them, but my parents knew them from Toronto, Canada. Like that's how they knew them. And that's how there was some kind of, oh yeah, we know you from, and Tom and Lori Burpee are always there trying to help, the upper echelon, Sea Org members that need help, or somebody in the Sea Org needs somebody help. They're the public Scientologists that are going to go. They're almost like Sea Org Scientologists. Like they're always at the Way to Happiness Foundation in Glendale. They're always part of the mission. They're always doing like their job. They really are like OT 5s or 6, whatever. They're they're trying to really, their heart, whether even if Tom isn't full time, maybe just does courses and it's not like as OT as Lori, but whatever it is, they are under the deep umbrella of Scientology. Their kids and everybody. So, anyway, so one of the jobs I had was working at that restaurant, and I was just I was like doing the cashier, cleaning, nothing. And people were just kind of like getting in trouble for slacking because they didn't have things to do. But I was also like, well, then maybe we don't need them. Like, and I was just saying, like, maybe they should go do something that's totally oblivious and totally just unaware of what I was saying or doing. Like, I didn't understand the company or an organization. Like, I didn't understand a real business. Like,
yeah, I was a real piece of shit at work.
But on purpose or not?
No, when I left the Sea Org and I was in the WOG world, I would confront people like to their face, like, you didn't do a
because you're
good
like,
job
hey,
on this
yeah,
thing.
right,
And I was just
right.
their peer. I didn't know
Wow.
that you're not supposed to do that in the WOG world, you know?
You were like, hey, man, I'm
That's
going to
how
send you to
stupid I
cramming.
kind of stupid I was.
What was your first job, Lou?
My first job, I worked at Noodles and Company, like a restaurant. Then I worked at Walgreens for a little bit. Then I worked at the Home Depot for 9 years. Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
So
I bet
Scientology is
you.
going to go to the Home Depot now and find all the bad things that they can find from them and then put it on a website.
Oh no, they're gonna call to mess with
They're-
Home Depot. That's gonna drain
That's Home
Scientology's
Depot.
money. That's Home Depot.
Depot.
Yeah, they don't care.
Depot,
They're like,
yes.
we ain't going down
Don't
that
mess with the
political
Home.
road. That's not only a political thing. That's like Home Depot could bring Scientology to court if they needed to. Like they could also drain. They have money to drain. Where Scientology, most people always wonder, like, why don't people bring Scientology to court? Why didn't somebody bring? Why don't the kids just go in and do it? It's because we don't have the time to get our money drained and our physical energy drained and harassed just when one person is ready to go and do it. No, we need to have a lot of us doing this. It can't just be.
Yeah.
So
because realistically, they're gonna
drain your
take
life
us to the laundry.
It's like if you're playing a video game, are you going to let this freaking crazy tank just knock the crap out of you and lose all your... No, you're going to be running, collecting first aid as much as you can so you're prepared for the big strike or whatever it is to take them down. Anywho, wow, I'm getting carried away.
I actually did some really silly stuff when I left the Sea Org. I went down this main street and I left my resume underneath all the doors and I put my social security number in there. Wasn't that, I mean, that's how I didn't. So
wait,
I ended up working. I got a job.
Why did you do the social security number? So that they could just run
put it on my resume. I put it on my resume.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to be super professional and legit and transparent.
I even put the little letter that the Church of Scientology made about me, which was like one paragraph. Louis Repetto is good at studying.
My first resume was literally figuring out ways to fancy up Scientology. Like literally like
like how to turn or how to turn an ethics MAA job into like I was a business consultant for the ethical side of the for Pacific Paving Stone, which is a Scientology company.
I
did all the mess work.
That's another job I did.
All the mess
like
work
when I got in trouble and put on decks. There was one time that they were doing like a cleanup or like a mass mailing where they wanted so many like individually signed mail letters going out, and all of a sudden I got pulled. And if you didn't complete like 30 in a day, you were that happened, and I remembered sitting there like, oh, you have not been on the bridge for so long. How do you make that fancy on a resume? Like hunting people down so they get back on the bridge.
I cleaned 10,000 dishes,
Or
I was a professional pot cleaner.
I cleaned fucking I cleaned up those, especially if you're trying to get a job at a company that doesn't require anything. Like, so for a hotel cleaning job, like a hotel job, I don't know why I never went and worked at a hotel, but anyways, a real hotel. But like for even when I got demoted, like so points I would put like, oh, at one point I was the programs operator, right? So I was trying to convert the programs operator into I was a business consultant running programs for Scientology, the estate side and the service side. So I'd be like and so it really was legit, but also at the same time, it was like, I could also be like, I was stainless steel cleaning all the gold and marble. I was able to clean marble. I can clean special detailed marbling, cement floor. I know how to pressure wash. I know how to dig trenches. I can do the PVC piping in a garden. I can reinstall all of your water and I can dig up your old sprinkler and line it up where you want it to go and PVC and do it. I was like, I was like, my resume is fucking endless if I just don't put Scientology.
Yeah. That's true.
Which I did. And so, so what did I do? So you said you put your Social Security. I went with Jason Spallino. I don't know if you know him. I know Sarah knows him very well. I went with Jason Spallino and his beat up freaking Volvo that was like kind of like a friend loaned him $500 to buy from somebody. He was like, it works. The mechanics he said his work is a good, and it was good, but it was like, brrr, it was like a loud Volvo, like whatever. I'm a go like that for now. So we went in his Volvo and I was like, hey, Jason, this is serious. I need to get a job. And I wrote a letter. Hi, my name's Megan Anderson. And I'm really good at cleaning, organizing. I think I use Scientology words in there, like dekludging. I was like, I can dekludge any space. I was using so many and anyways. And I was like, please, I was like, I'm 19 years old or whatever it was at the time. And I put this letter, I made a bunch of copies and signed in, like wrote like 50 of them. And I wrote with highlighters and things like this, like, please call me to make it look natural. And like, oh, here's a highlighter and here's my signature. Like, I'll be waiting for your call or whatever it was. And we went with his Volvo all the way up Bel Air, all the way up to all the fancy, big, huge houses. And with all of these houses that we put it in, we had put in the mailbox, like there was like 10 mailboxes for this one huge estate that this house manager that ran the whole estate there was like 8 mailboxes for all the different houses in case they wanted to keep it private. But anyways, he ran the whole estate. So he would go into all of the mailboxes, and out of all, it kept getting this letter, and each one was handwritten and personalized, like, please call me back and I can do anything, just give me a chance. And then Dillip, his name's Dillip, finally called me and he said, the reason I called you, got a few calls. Like one lady looked like Cher, but like old lady. I don't know if she was her mom or something. Anyway, had like a German Shepherd. I was like, Jesus, this house is crazy. She was like, what kind of work? She was like, okay, well, we'll see. I don't know. I had no idea. Like, I just came in like, yep, I can do whatever you need. Yep. Okay, great. Thank you. Bye. Like, and then some people called, some didn't. This guy called and he said, the reason, like, hello, hi, Megan. Okay, come tomorrow. Just see whatever, we'll meet. Very sweet Indian guy, right? He said, the reason I called you is because each letter was so different and you put them in all of the mailbox. He was like, let me show you. And he brings me into the property, and he shows me that house and over there. Okay. And across the valley, he shows me in the gates. We're in this huge gate of property. And he's like, I own that. So I thought, wow, he's so impressive, this girl, whatever. Like, I'm doing the worst accent, but he was just saying it's so impressive that this 19-year-old went to all these boxes and mailboxes without and put them in there. Please, somebody give me a job. I can clean. I can do anything. He was like, why not? Why not give you a chance? That's what he was saying. Why not? Are you going to kill me? Are you a serial killer? I was like, no, I was born and raised.
The next intelligence.
Yeah. And he was kind of like, oh, okay. Okay, I will talk to the boss. And so then they gave
crazy like Tom Cruise?
They would anyway. So that's a whole nother thing. But that's one of my jobs. I ended up being the uncle. He's the house. He ran the whole property, but he worked for the uncle who's the boss. And his nephew was like a 37, 8-year-old guy at that time. And he was going to UCLA, kind of chubby, like, hey, bring me here, do this. Oh, go to Trader Joe's, shop. And so I was like, okay. I was just like doing everything. I was just like shopping for the rich guy's nephew and making sure he's going to UCLA to get these, his credentials so that he can own the banks in the future. They're like really rich billionaires. Crazy. Job I left. Job I got when I left, and that's how I got it too, with my friends. It was really fun.
Hey, that's brilliant though, considering like I don't
even think that's legal now. I just had no idea. How would I know? I'm like, no, a mailbox is for letters. You put letters in for the person you're trying
to make it
to
go
read.
right
with green on white. Get it? Green on the white paper.
I heard it.
I should put that in a song.
I'm getting there, Louis. Louis.
As long as it doesn't sound like I got green on it, messing with that endo weed.
Hey, that's nice. Did you come up with that, Liz?
No.
I got 5 on it. Oh my God! Wow,
Good
guys.
song, though.
Yeah, you guys are a fun. What do you call this? A quad? We're a fun quad of interesting topics, especially.
No. That's where we had muster.
Oh, good one.
Oh, wait. What about the horseshoe?
We had the quad, right? Right. That's where we were.
Yeah, on the EPF we had the horseshoe though. Yeah.
Okay.
But
is it the same area?
Asher Day was in the quad for sure.
But what's the quad? Is it the same area?
The brick area between main building and Asho.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And the horseshoe is
the outside security on Catalina, North Catalina.
Yeah, right.
So like I'm thinking like that side entrance. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Where the side entrance goes?
Yeah, it's got the palm
trees. Like the canteen's on the other side.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Wow.
I got married in the quad to Bonnie by Cosmo Sherman. Did you know him? Anyone?
That sounds familiar.
Oh.
The only Cosmo I know has 2 fairy godparents.
Huh.
I mean, I know the Shermans. Are the Shermans?
Do you know Kara Sherman?
Yeah,
I know Kara.
Used to work at Asho.
See, that's what I was going to say. The Shermans are very popular in the Scientology world.
Really?
Is she still in?
Yeah.
Still?
Oh, I have no idea.
And Michael Graves, that was her brother.
Yeah,
Mike Graves, he got married, has a beautiful family. I don't know where he stands with Scientology, but he does have a beautiful family, Mike Graves. So.
See, I like that. I like success stories. Why couldn't there not be more success
Your needle is floating.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know why? Because they don't have an examiner to do the success story too. Is who? Is Carrie Sherman? I was joking, Sarah. You're like, they don't have an examiner. Oh. You're like,
honestly, they might. I mean, Mike Graves might still have an examiner. I really have no idea, but yeah.
I have no idea. Sherman. This is good to talk about so people know, and they'll let us know somewhere down the line. It says here, so Liz never got to ask them her question about did they on purpose not react to piss others off. I think that's what she wanted to know from them. So what was it on purpose? Wait, what do you remember that, Liz?
I remember. I know. Okay, I got my answer.
So
right.
Was it? I guess I didn't understand it. Is it on purpose to piss the person yelling at us off? Okay, yeah.
So like
because it would like, piss them off because they weren't getting any reaction.
Or flat faced and not doing anything because we've been groomed to be yelled at. Now, when I yell at people, that means I've gone past the point of I'm about to tone 40 this motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm starting to swing, but that's usually when I get there.
Yeah.
Tone 40 that motherfucker. Love it.
But at the same time, that was the question. We all got the best answer that we could have.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know if any of you guys want to answer this. Renee B. Super inappropriate question. I was just making sure we got that. Super. And do these, she says, or they say, do these weird experiences affect you in your intimate life after Scientology? They did for a bit until you process them, I think.
Yeah,
I can tell you one for sure. One thing that really affects me now to this day,
touching the
naughty part, confessional questioning. You know, I just have, it's just the bull baiting and the drilling that I got as far as on how to ask confessional questions and just having absolutely no button whatsoever on asking someone anything, you know, and it just comes out. Just, you know, the question just pops out and I'm asking them and I'm not even, I think it's the next logical thing, but it usually fucking creeps people out.
Yeah.
I think once we mention the word Scientology, people usually go, That's how I found it.
I've had a lot of people actually pretty open to hearing about it. Very curious, very interested.
Yeah.
Until I actually got meeting with the best way I can explain it, until I actually started looking at the fact that Scientology wasn't real, my experience was weird. Like it was almost like if you told someone you grew up in Scientology and you were unfortunately, because again, I used to say I was a Scientologist up until I was 40. So this wasn't like I, just woke up when I left the Sea Org, unfortunately. It would be almost like, oh my God, I have so many questions for you. Like, where do I begin? Is it really a cult? Like, can you tell me a little bit about it? Yeah, you don't see the bad stuff till you really actually have to look at it.
Well, no, it's interesting. I when you were answering, the way I was looking at it was after getting out of Scientology, because I actually remember when I was still in it, I actually didn't want to tell people I was a Scientologist. And I'd say I had these theories about life and existence that were totally just Scientology, like moving through me. And I remember a girlfriend even like called me out on it once. She's like, "Isn't that just Scientology?" I was like, "No, what are you talking about? I'm not brainwashed into believing these are my own thoughts and belief systems. And I'm, whatever."
You know how hard it was for me to actually look at the fact that LRH did not invent like the 3 different the 3 different reasons why you can't study from learning how to learn. That hit me like a ton of bricks. The student hat, that shit hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, what do you mean that shit's not real? You know how many people I tell about that? Son of a bitch.
Oh, wow.
Do you still do like sentences and look up the derivation and all that?
Yeah.
I still honestly, that's the one thing. If I could, if I wanted to say something,
Sarah,
maybe
don't, because you truly think L. Ron Hubbard was like, yeah, and the next thing you should do is do 10 sentences and look.
No. I'm not saying to do that. I'm not saying to do that.
No, he stole somebody else's knowledge or way of doing it. It was never him coming up with it.
I'm not trying to say that LRH, thank you for your study technology. That is not what I am saying.
What were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say that, like, my grammar, like, when I went to high school, normal high school, I was the one kid in the class who understood what the fuck was going on with a high school teacher who was from another country that asked me to explain the lesson. I got a D in this like summer class only because I stopped showing up because I had just no reason to. And I'm not saying that it was even a good thing because it drilled a lot of shit into my head that was on top of but I think some of them, like a few of the things of just understanding language, because he did have this and took a lot of ideas, wherever he got it from, he put forth a lot of ideas about how to really like drill language into people and to understand its structure and how to use it to also manipulate people. I'm not saying there were good intentions.
What do you mean to also, what were the good intentions?
No, I didn't. I did not say there were good intentions. I said there were not good intentions.
Said to also, like, no, he only learned all of this and took it from people to create Scientology.
Right. No, but so I'm not trying to sing any praises.
No, I know.
You should know me well enough.
I do know you.
Point.
I'm not asking for this. I'm not asking for this
right now.
Exactly.
What I am trying to say is that there is information about language that if you can take away all the other shit, might be helpful to some people. But the fact that it's in with all that other shit in like a nice package, I don't know. I recognize.
I really want to know, what language are you referring to? Like what? Like a word or?
No, the English language. Like his understanding of grammar, in its traditional use and sense. And mind you, it's evolving as well, though. And if we stay with that traditional use and sense, like, with the internet and everything, we have a totally different way of communicating. It doesn't take away the fact that, words are spells, and words and their structure it's very specific and they have different vibrations to it. Again, he doesn't explain all of this, but I feel like this understanding is in it. Like he infused, like he used an understanding. Again, I talked a little bit about this guy who told me about the black magic work that he did. And he was one of the few people who could use the nomenclature and the structures of Scientology sentences in the same way that I understood them. And he never went on court. He never was in an ord. He learned this from some other like facet. And I guess LRH used to like every morning. Again, this is from one person. Nonetheless, he was very convincing. Had these like magical sentences, right, that he would put down. I'm just trying to say that there is
no, I'm agree. I'm not, there's no like, told you so or anything. What I'm saying is I understand, I'm hearing you. But what I am saying is that, yes, like doing the training drills on how to communicate obviously made me understand.
Did you ever do the like learning how to learn grammar and communication?
Of course, 1,000
okay,
times.
Okay. That's more what I'm referring to.
And you know what?
Else. Yeah.
It might have sounded like I was joking, but when I asked Liz, do you still make sentences? I still do that. I don't make 10. I don't do 10 sentences.
Yeah.
I just go, do I really understand the word? Make a sentence. And then I will know I really do understand it because I can hear myself making a sentence. So it's not that it's not that I use that every time I learn a word. I'm just going like, wow, like sometimes when words are really hard to understand for me, I'm like, okay, I've looked it up. I see it. I see the definition, but it's not registering in my, like, I'm just like, but so does that mean and so then I have to use a sentence. Can I use it like this? That is not Scientology. That is something that if I was going to look up a word and I knew what knowledge and language was, I would go, how would I use that in my next book? Like, how could I use that word in a meaningful way? Right. So I would naturally be using it in a sentence. Right.
No, my mom was doing that before Scientology, when she was born.
That's what I'm saying. So like even these things of learning how to learn, how he's saying it's like, no, it's just, and he just made things that were normal human common sense and didn't say, oh, I learned all of this through just the nature of man.
I pulled it right out of
never had the experience. Yeah.
The Dole's problem mass.
He's so full of shit. Like he even's like, I slept with pygmy, when on I don't know how many times I was forced to watch because I couldn't find all my misunderstood words. I was forced to watch the what is Scientology video on HQS with Mr. Hitchman. Many millions of words have been said and written about Scientology, but there's still many doubts in many people's. Anyways, and then he comes in, well, Mr. Hitchman. And in that, he says, like, I've slept with Mongol. I've been in. He acts like he's been on all these adventures and slept with all these different tribes. And it's just like, he's so full of shit. He's literally so full of shit. And oh my God, right when I said that, I remember his teeth. How can you be such a leader and have such gross teeth when the number one precept in the Way to Happiness book is brush your teeth. It says take care of yourself. It's
come on,
or
pick her.
But also, but like the truth that your physical body is showing us that you're lying. Like, how do you not drink? And how is your teeth like that? How are you not over smoking? How are you not abusing drugs or something? Like you are crazy. Okay, go ahead, Liz.
Okay, that man was a fat bastard. First of all, why is it that we all of a sudden when I was in the Sea Org, I was a healthy size 14. Well, that was considered morbidly obese. Like, good fucking Lord, I would love to be a size 14 again. And then all of a sudden you get put on this stupid general diet or who the fuck cares what it is? It's called the starvation diet.
HCG diet.
Yeah, and remember that? And LRH was
rice and beans.
Like fat. He did not eat rice and beans. You know that he's never even touched it.
But that's the whole thing. That's like what we were talking about earlier. Yeah, nobody can put L. Ron Hubbard or David Miscavige, the leaders of some fucking thing, on the RPF. Nobody can even put their ethics in. Like, it's up to David Miscavige to go in session. And he'll choose his auditor. Oh, trust me, he'll choose who he feels. Maybe he's let
Tom, it's going to be Tom Cruise now.
Audit him. It's already done. I bet you. Oh my God.
Audited now. Everything
now they're just. Yeah, because they're busy with
no, he can't touch the can. Remember, touching the can is still illegal.
And the other hand is jerking the other one off while the other one is holding their other solo can.
Kind of want to see this porno now.
It would be kind of interesting.
Okay, so we're gonna give you guys like the
back to rice and beans. Back to rice and beans.
No, not back to rice and beans. I did not know about the 2 girls 1 cup.
Okay, let's not go there.
I'm just saying.
No, Liz, this is a chat about jobs we had when we left the Sea Org.
But someone told me about that, and you know what?
Okay, you know what's disgusting? In my Little Red radio band, me and Jason wrote a lyric, literally saying, "It's like 2 chicks in 1 cup that will make you weary." Just gonna say that. So I'm a hypocrite, and I'm gonna mute myself while you go ahead and talk about whatever the fuck you want to talk about.
No, that's all.
Okay.
Because I don't get sarcasm. So the first time someone told me that, I literally was like, you don't want to have a glass of tea with me? Like, I am a nice person. You cannot catch the gay.
No, but it's not. For some reason, it's not about gay. It's not about.
Yeah, gay. I know. I know what it is now, but I'm just telling you, I took it literal.
Okay, congratulations. But these are things we learn when we leave. Like these are the things you go through. And it also started, that thing also started as a prank. It was like, oh, have you seen this thing? 2 chicks, 1 cup? No. And then you read it and you're like, ew, and you literally can't. It's gross. Okay, moving forward. We're not doing that.
Okay. Sorry. I just don't get, I don't get, like, I loved it that Lou, you gave me sarcasm. I totally didn't get it. I had to watch it like 3 times and it was still
I still don't even know. I know.
I don't get. Yeah, we're not doing it. REM Arts for you, Liz, so you can change your subject because that was not gonna go. Liz, did you really just drop a Fairly Odd Parents reference? Let's just change. This was from earlier. Love yes, some Cosmo and Timmy Turner. Is that what you did?
It's literally it's a cartoon. It's called The Fairly Odd Parents on Nickelodeon.
Ooh, good. Question. Or did we already do this or what? Question, Sarah or all. How did you sift through the useful vs the icky? Was that hard? This is from Eyewitness.
Therapy.
but Liz, didn't we talk about even therapy was hard to start doing because it reminded us
because I thought auditing. I was literally
so that's what he's saying. Witness is like, wasn't there is this sifting. There is this like, okay, this is valuable. Oh, this is L. Ron Hubbard, but he didn't really make it. It came from this other stuff. So definitely for me all the time, every day, that's what I'm doing. I'm sifting what I like, what I don't, what isn't. It's in the layers in earth when you see some major shifts in mineral, like from like redstone to like pale white in mountain, inside. It's like that. It's like, nope. That's when I left Scientology and now I'm a shiny baby. And now you can see I'm just growing.
Yeah, I still question a lot of stuff. I still, like am I not understanding because it's lack of mass? I still do that sometimes. Like, am I sure I understood that? Do I know what it looked like?
Oh, you know what I get? You know what I do? Myself. I say surf hacking. Am I surf hacking or I'm ridging? I'm ridging.
Oh yeah, good one.
Or that person. Whoa, okay. Are you gonna hold a ridge and I've changed it to like a grudge? Or are you gonna hold that? Are you gonna hold that suitcase? That heavy suitcase against me a while? How long are you going to hold that suitcase? I have to say that, but like, I'm like, not like in the moment, like when I'm like upset or I'm explaining it, like, no, I feel like you're just ridging on me. It does make people do hear it, but I go, in my other mind, I go, you just did it again. You just used Scientology on a WOG and they still got it. But I'm like, it's like some things I just can't like clearly get across or say without just saying like, you're like messing up my fucking space. You're turbulating me. Like,
I said that once. I said that once at a job.
You're like interpolation.
I was sitting there trying to explain to my boss how him being a total dick was interpolating, but I was trying to say it without saying he was being a dick. So I was like, this whole situation between the favoritism and everything else, it is extremely interpolating. And he goes, what is interpolating? So then I gave him the definition of interpolating. And then I was like, it literally is like nobody's ethics are in. And then I had to go look at myself in the mirror and be like, okay, what did I just say?
So that's something that Laura and I have talked about a little bit, especially when it comes to plant medicine, because one of the cool things, kind of like something I have happen now, is I have forgotten almost all of the words. And until people start saying them, they don't, I wonder then for you.
Do you not like it when they come back, or is it okay when it does come back?
No, it's in some ways it can be kind of fun and funny because you're like, oh my God, like I totally forgot that word. And like, I can't believe that used to be such a part of me and who I was and how I communicated and how I viewed the world. Right. Well, but I want to answer this question further, which is in like just like removing shit. It's like almost like for me, I had to remove the structure, like the literal like rebar and everything from my system that was holding up Scientology in there. And then from there, when stuff would come into my system or my space, like even like meditation, because you could be like, oh, that's a TR, right? But no, it came into me totally separate. And I didn't even I don't even know if I thought about it like that until this exact moment. Like it had to come in almost another way. The only thing I probably still relate is the study technology, which is why I was kind of, I felt I feel so much about it.
But also at the same time, do you feel like because you didn't have the boundary of or not boundary, but just having the line of like, oh, this is like a TR, maybe you were already like, not to speak or say how you felt. I'm almost asking. Do you feel that the TR when you were in Scientology almost felt more like you could understand it because it felt more meditative than a TR? And then when you came in the outside world, when you started doing meditation, you were like, oh, it's kind of like TR's meditation, and not realizing there was like a fine line. You know what I mean? I definitely was like, oh, this reminds me of TR's, but you also taught me a lot about, yoga, like stance and posture and like Pilates things. And I was just like, wow, Sarah has a whole different knowledge, place in her brain than I do. And not that you can't teach me, because you are teaching me. And I'm just going like, how did she have this sort of, I wonder if there's this blend of search for, life and knowledge and understanding us, and that you could blend TRs and meditation easily together and not think like, oh, they weren't sort of separate.
I think
because for me, sorry, not to interrupt.
Yeah, go ahead.
But for me, when somebody said go to therapy and I went, I felt like I was in an auditing session, or when somebody was saying do this type of therapy, I was like, oh, this is like TRs. It was very, very yucky and icky. I did not like it.
So I like. So that even goes for this other practice that I do called emotion code. And I do it with someone who's an ex-Scientologist as well. And when they first did it, they thought, oh my gosh, this is like auditing. Which again, though, when I did it, for whatever reason, I do believe I did like intense medicine work for a long time. That was really intense, and I don't necessarily recommend it. But at the same time, it was really effective. And I don't know how other people do it. I just know how I did it, which was it literally just like stripped those structures away. So when I had something that was helpful and effective, and I could feel it in me, in my system, I could feel it, the positive impact it had, versus, because I do remember when I used to do TRs, they would take me as a child to do pro TRs with people because I was such a great sitter. But the reason I think I was so great at doing those TRs with other people was because I was so disassociated. I was so out of my body. I was so just, and so again, now like I sit in meditation and I'm like, ooh, I'm in pain, or ooh, here's my thoughts coming. You know, like there's all this stuff that comes up, and sometimes I'll start doing shit if it feels like I need to do shit, versus doing TRs like boom.
All of a sudden I'm
shit.
like,
right.
I'm like
I've seen Sarah, you know, at a festival, or we're watching music or something, a band or something, and she's like, oh, feeling it or something. And this is because me and Sarah are literally very connected spirits. Like I love this little baby. But there's definitely times where I can I was gonna say, like, I could, I don't know. I feel, I also don't want to assume anything again. I'm not saying anything, but I also feel that there's certain parts where, like being able to separate, and I don't know if it's just because you're you and you have your ways of doing it, but being able to just have your life and being able to hear a view from somebody that was in the Sea Org, or this person that you dated, that, or whatever it was, like you're able to conform, like your yoga, your Pilates, you're learning these things. For you, I feel like you have like there's still that in your adventure sort of Scientology life that wasn't taken away through all this. And even then you're open to understanding, oh, could medicine be okay for this? Could a pill at some points be like, whereas a Scientologist viewing certain Pilates or even meditation or therapy as being squirrel, you know, against auditing behavior, or being a Scientologist, you should just be doing Scientology, not yoga. Or the purif, or the running, whatever it is.
Tell me that actually once when I was doing yoga. She told me from Asha. Yeah, she was like, you need to like structure your time better, because this is not
like what? Yeah, they're like, why are you not going in session?
Take care of my body. Oh shit.
Yeah, and you're like, but they don't consider. They're like, that's squirrel. Like, we have a way that you should be taking care of your body.
Yeah, no, and we've showered with all those people that are taking care of their bodies.
We have seen those people who are taking care of their body.
That is wrong. That is wrong.
L. Ron.
No. L. Wrong.
L. Wrong.
Oh my God. I should write, I should get another merch shirt. Lara, don't be so funny. I'm going to do L. Wrong Hubbard.
Yeah, I love it.
There we go.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
I'll be here all night.
Maybe I just got inspired by Jeff Hawkins' marketing interview that I did, right? You know, our little episode. I'm like, look, I got the SBT. I'm just going to put on the back of this L. Wrong Hubbard. Why not? Just add it to the thing. Hey, when you print the shirt, can you just add on the back?
I'm wondering
black
if
letter,
we can
L. Wrong Hubbard.
We can put him on the missing
Wrong
list.
Hubbard.
Could also put L. Wrong, but yeah.
Like, someone told me the other day, isn't L. Ron Hubbard supposed to be coming back? And I was like,
no,
does that mean he's missing?
I am not advertising L. Ron Hubbard at all. L. Wrong Hubbard.
You can call him L. Wrong Hubbard.
On an SPTV shirt? Absolutely. Nope. For now, we're doing Where's Bob Ferris? And no joking about that.
Yeah.
Let's get Bob Ferris, save Bob Ferris out of Gold Base. Same with my mother, Diane. I said our mother. Our mother,
I was
guys.
like, our mother.
Our mother, Diane Anderson, my mother from the Gold Base. But the thing is like, help us figure out genius ways that you can deprogram somebody inside a cult that is they're keeping themselves in there because of the abuse, mental abuse and physical abuse that Scientology structures around them, you know? Like, if you can help us in that way, great. Other than that, like, talking about it and having all these great little chats is exactly what's helping and spreading the word and keeping people semi understanding, like, in whatever ways we can explain all of this shit.
Everything
still understanding. Yeah.
But it's still weird because it is a first language and it feels like it's almost like a hidden language.
You see how Liz just said that, Sarah? It's still a first language. like Scientology, and you're referring to Scientology language, meaning like if I went to France, I learned, French, and like Scientology really, no matter what race we were or where we were born originally or whatever, Scientology is our first language. Isn't that crazy that something can be your first language wherever you are across the earth under the belt of Scientology? Because they have their own way of behaving, thinking, acting, what you want to be in the future when you grow up, what's out of valence, what's gay, what's not, what's one, but yet they will protect somebody who's gone in session and gotten off the withholds. If you've gotten off that you raped somebody, if you've gotten off that you're a pedophile, if you've gotten off that you have these bad habits, you know what I mean? Like, then they can protect you because they see that you're being totally open with them, and you're really, you're being so dedicated that you're giving them things to use against you later if you ever leave. But you're also allowing this person to continue being that person that they are, because auditing in Scientology doesn't help cure anybody's pedophilia behavior, and in fact encourages it and just aligns it in certain boxes, and the abusive, and how to treat people, and how to manipulate your wife, and how to get what you want without, there's so many. It's just like, why? Life has other ways of doing things without money and without all that. Why are we demanding that we have to listen to L. Ron Hubbard solely? Like, are you kidding me?
Someone put L. Wong Hubbard. L. Wong Howard.
Wong.
Yeah.
Why?
L. Wong. L. Wong Hubbard.
I don't get that.
I was more thinking like a penis.
Like Wong, not like dong.
So I was thinking like Wong, like dong.
Oh, Sarah.
L. Dong.
I'm single,
L. Dong Hubbard. L. Dong Wong Dong Dong.
Like when the beat goes dong. Could have went in dong.
Okay, wow.
I'm never gonna forget L. Dong Hubbard.
Wait. Okay, wait. Let's stop talking about that for a second. Back to language, though.
Yeah, I wanted, you did say you wanted to finish answering this, Sarah, about the languages, and also about the sifting through the icky and the and all that. I don't know if you remember what you were gonna say, but.
I'll say what I'm going to say about language first.
Okay.
Because I think that actually in some ways, it bridges, because I have thought about, I always want to learn like another language. And I have like a lot of small pieces of languages, but I learned from another mother in Bali. Actually, it was her husband telling me. She was Russian. So she spoke Russian, she spoke English, she spoke Spanish. I think she spoke French, and then she was learning Indonesian. And she spoke about how her, like, each language had a different feeling to it. Depending on what she wanted to communicate, she would use these different languages that she had to communicate how she felt, but like more fully and more completely, because she had those languages. And so when you guys said that first language, Liz, that was really, it made me really think about it, because that is literally your first structure, because words are abstract. And even now, I have a son, he's 6 years old, and he isn't supposed to even, his brain isn't even supposed to be at a point where he understands abstract concepts. And yet, even our society, let alone something like Scientology, is telling us we have to teach them letters and numbers, and they're supposed to understand words, which are literally abstract concepts, right?
And not only that, they are also saying that some of those things are aberrated. Like, oh, that's aberration. We'll deal with that in another session. Like, they literally break down the thought process of a child.
Oh,
on on certain departments. Like, oh, what was he thinking? Oh, so he likes nail polish. That's aberrated. Okay, we'll get to that. We'll just monitor his behavior and see if he's leaning toward that. So now you've got the own mother monitoring. Oh, is he going to be gay? Is he doing this? What is he?
See, okay. So I'd like
if you want to find a fault and a flaw in somebody, you're gonna find a lot of it.
Yeah.
So imagine
right,
and then being the mother of this person, then going, oh, well, now you're you're banned. Why am I banned? You're wearing nail polish. What's wrong with my nail polish? All of a sudden it's an issue. So I respect you as a mother very much, Sarah. I love you very much. Okay, sorry, continue.
Legion wears nail polish, for the record.
I was literally also thinking, I was just like Legion's, yeah.
Yeah, Legion's
that's
great.
why. That's literally why I was like, and Lee, and me as a child, my aunt told me, my Scientology aunt told me, oh, I know it's you because every time I see your nails, they're always nail polished and scruffed up, but they're always polished. And they're all different. Yeah, she was like, they're all, and I would color them with markers. I would color that. I would always be like, oh, I'm gonna go. Oh, look, I'm pretty, and it would be like red mark. And I'd be like, my mom would be like, what do you do? I'd be like, I like it, and she'd be like, fine, let's go. We need to get on the plane to Canada. This is our one trip for the next 6 years for 3 days. Hurry up. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Sarah. Nail polish. I just love Lee, her son, because he is so open and free. And I love that his mother gave that to him. And like, he can paint his nails whatever he wants and it doesn't fucking matter. And he's so smart and he's creative and is so cool.
He is really creative, which is actually, it's really incredible. And you should see his hair right now. He cut it and it's like part of it's cut here and part of it's like long. And anyway, and he doesn't want me to touch it. So
just like me. Okay. Yeah. Just like me. I'm like, no.
He's totally got Lara. He's obviously inspired by Auntie Lara. Obviously.
Don't touch it. Only hairdressers ask me. They're like, what are you doing with your hair? I'm like, don't talk to me about my hair. I'm the only one. Me and my cats. That's it. My cats chew it at night. That's it. Okay, back to where I was just continuing the joke, but you were jumping back in. Go ahead.
Honestly, though, as I'm thinking about it, I think part of, so we're talking about language, and I was an avid reader when I was younger, and I still am a pretty avid reader to a certain degree. But I do also believe that like seeing language like that it creates structures, it creates synaptic connections, right? It creates abstract concepts for us. So I feel like, so when we're able to actually like step away from or like, because I don't think it's all about just throwing it all out, while simultaneously, I think it's when you come into your own and what you truly authentically feel. And I think it starts with the feeling. And you're able to really feel into each moment or each idea or each thought, the stuff that isn't aligning with that doesn't actually resonate, that doesn't actually, that isn't held in your natural, fractal structure that you are creating at every moment of every time and every space, will literally fall away. I'd like to think it's as easy as that. And I both believe it is, and also there's the journey of that process, and of being able to recognize what is your own and what isn't, I think is like the first step to that. And there is a lot of just pulling out first and foremost, and then being present with how you feel, which often there's a lot of gunk in there that you have to feel to know whether or not you want to keep it, so there could be some discomfort that you actually have to be present with, hold space for, and then realize, is that discomfort me, because I put confines and boundaries around that, because I said no nail polish, or no black nail polish, or I have to have my hair this way, or I have to people please, I trust everyone, or whatever that is, which takes away your inner authority, your sovereignty, but also your protector. If it like does away, there's so many aspects and parts to who we are that have us function in a holistic, loving, conscious, like present here and now. But see, that's the thing, even like present time, like I do believe that there is like being in the now is so important. But at the same time, except for in this conversation, I'm not relating it to like, oh, being in present time, get to present time, like I'm never relating that together. And yet simultaneously, I'm like, whoa, me being here and now is important. I can also be present with those thoughts and feelings and bring them here now and be like, oh, little Sarah, I am so sorry. She said, listen here, you little bitch. Melissa Palmer, right? Right, which made me think of what you were saying about TR0. And I actually remember, I was a little girl, 14 years old, or 15 years old, being screamed at by my senior and not being able to react. Yeah, I forgot about that. You know, I remembered the screaming, but I forgot that I had to sit there and take it and not react. So yeah, so a lot of this stuff I've forgotten. But I've also been with a lot of those parts of myself. So those parts aren't forgotten, just some of the memories around Scientology themselves, because that's the shit that I don't need to remember, you know, to have a like happy, joyous life present with beautiful people that I love so much. That's so great, you know?
And and also the being, when you tell people I'm in present time, if you were never a Scientologist, a normal person would be like, oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Like in real talk, like that's the truth. Like that's so imagine when you're leaving the Sea Org and getting into new jobs, you are using language. Like people are making fun of us, or were at times making fun of us for using all this, you know, abbreviations of Scientology. Well, now we're on now it's an open table where we're allowed to. Whereas before it was even in our normal conversations, even in a bar argument, I would be like, don't cut my comm when I'm talking to a non-Scientologist at a bar about a pool game or something. I'd be like, don't cut
my communication.
Listen to my point of view. Get your, like, you know, like just confront me, whatever it was. I was still using the language of Scientology. So, and that none of that time, nobody was like, what did you say? Or like, it wasn't like an obvious thing. They felt what I meant. And so they also understood what I was saying, not knowing that my background was being raised in Scientology. Then they would have been like, oh, that's why you, and when I did tell them, they would go, that's why you were always saying this or that. But on the other end, if you're leaving the Sea Org and you're going in to get jobs and stuff, and nobody's telling you you're using a weird, strange language, you're never going to know it until you start to like separate and dissect what do I like in life and what do I don't? Why do I still do that? Why do I feel awkward when somebody loves me and they just want to hold me? Like, what is it? Like, there's so much dissecting to do. And then, do I feel okay? Do I like that? No, I don't. Do I like it? What's wrong with that? Oh my God, I love that. You know what I mean? Like, then there's things you really enjoy. You're like, oh my God, I'm so glad I can masturbate and not have to think about I am going there. It's going there. But like, so there's all these little things, all the way down to small things. I'm going to go back to the Q-tip again. Like cleaning your ears after a shower with a Q-tip is so precious. That wasn't even allowed to have. You're not allowed to just like have your own area with your toothbrush. And no, you're living a dorm with 8 or 10 or 12 other Sea Org members or whatever it is. It's just like the lifestyle is completely different. And your purpose and what your intent is different. Like you're just you're not paying your apartment bills. You're not saving your child and making sure he has amazing food, or you're not gardening or making art and skulls in your back. You're not doing these things that are like natural life, enjoyable things. You're taught to always be working and to always be at it all the time.
Yeah.
Boom.
I love how she does at least the, you know,
I like that you guys say I like that you say I do the mic drop, and I'm like, oh, was that a mic drop? No,
that was a mic drop.
I'm always like, thank you for letting me like bleh, and spooge it out.
Spooge it out. Okay.
But Sarah, what I was also saying on your thing is that you were saying something about the TRs and like being in the PT and all that. And what I was saying is that even L. Ron Hubbard, not to go back to that, but to say that L. Ron Hubbard was definitely not the person to mention present time or PT as a short, even version of present time. So maybe that's the first time we heard it as children or as people who were born and raised in the environment of Scientology, always being PT, get your PT, your ethics, but ethics and justice and all these things were all old terms. You know what I mean? And we have completely different meanings and definitions for them just in Scientology world. So even if we're using the word infinity, you know, or I have so much love or affinity for that person, somebody be like, oh, that's so nice. Yeah, me too. But we are thinking, oh yeah, good. This is Scientology. Like this is Scientology world. So yeah, I would say that it feels good to be in present time when you need to be in present time. Like if you're running a machine or something, or you're taking care of your child and you need to hear his feelings, Or if you're driving, exactly. Yes, you better get in fucking PT. And I don't believe that L. Ron Hubbard was the first person who came up with that word.
Even like Ram Dass, be here now. And, he had his yogi teachers right back in India.
Present. But even so many people are like, be present, be here, be right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a thing. It's always been a thing, except he uses it to like manipulate again.
He uses everything to
blur the line.
Or twist.
Yep, to blur the line of what is human or humane, and then what is what doesn't feel right in people's guts. Because if you did it right away in front, it would be way too obvious. Wait, that doesn't feel right. That's wrong. Yeah. But if you just do it slowly through little things, then slowly by the end, you don't even realize you're doing this. You still never realize you're doing this at the end.
Yeah,
you're just, well, my job is to do this. And if I have to kill somebody to do it, then that's what I do.
Well, that's the funny thing is
so you're murdering.
We are so disassociated.
But I'm saying that's how deep it goes mentally. Yeah. That's how deep it is. If I have to kill for them, I would, that's like, well, if, and that's how, sadly, a lot of dark religion, like deep, hard wire, like I'm not going to believe in anything else or see anything else any other way because that's a distraction of God or whatever it is. It kind of like, who's telling you that? And where's this fear coming from? What the heck,
Mm-hmm.
I like this question from Mandy McGee. Question, are you afraid to talk about...
Is it down at the bottom? Oh, right here. Boom. Hi, Mandy. Sweet angel baby. Question, are you afraid to talk about Scientology in public? I was for sure even afraid when we left, like just to go, even though we were kind of Scientologists still in the outside world, I was annoyed. I would be like, well, shut up. If any of my friends would even mention Scientology at a bar or anything. I didn't want other people to know that we were Scientologists. And it wasn't because I was embarrassed of Scientology. There was just a gut feeling in me that disregarded and disliked the whole subject of my personality being related to Scientology, for sure. Yeah. So I definitely avoided that for a while.
Yeah, I tried telling everybody at first, and then you learn real quick that you get treated. I had been treated differently when they found out.
I would say that we weren't even talking about it in a bad way. It was just that we didn't want to be related to Scientology. I think we were trying to see our new life and something in this new outside world is showing us something different, and we didn't need to relate it again to Scientology.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to learn the WOG language so that I could translate the Scientology language into the Never-End language. And so, yeah, that's what I was doing. I never really told anyone that I was ever a Scientologist before. For 2 years, I didn't tell a single person. And then I told somebody, and then it was hard to explain it to someone who's never been in. So I just never said anything about it. And I never let the words key me in, so to speak, until recently. I started talking to all these, ex-Scientologists. Now I'm super keyed in. I love it. My needle's rock slamming.
Well, on that note, my needle, I don't think an auditor in Scientology ever says that, right? They never say your needle is rock slamming. They never.
No,
I remember what is that? What is that right there? What is that?
That. Just
what are you thinking about? What are you looking at?
Yeah, calmly, you're like, okay, all right, we're gonna end the session. Like when you see in the reflection of the glasses, your needle's like, go. You're like,
there's like a huge red tag on your forehead.
Yeah, you're like, I was rubbing my feet on the carpet. But anyway, what I was gonna say here is which Louis, maybe you can answer this one. It can add to your restim.
TR6A.
Which TR is the one where you physically move someone around the room and you? Seems a lot like trance-inducing compliance to me. It's 100% that. It is 100% that. But which TR is it? Yeah, 6A. Does that help?
6A is the one where you walk them around, and then 6B is where you just do between the walls. Then TR7 is where you force them back and forth between the walls. TR8 is the ashtray. TR9 is the God command, making someone do it by putting the thought in their head and they just comply because you're God. TR9.
Wow.
Tone 40.
I think that is insane. The way you just said that and just like quickly
so calm and rationally. I'm like
through each one. Yeah. I was just like, wow, that's true. Oh yeah. And that's what we did next. Oh yeah. And then you body route them or physically move the body. Yeah. And then, oh yeah, well, we're above God. It's just like, do it. And I'm going to make you do it. And I'm going to make you want to do it. And you're going to want to do it. And then you're going to do it.
You're going to do it. You're going to like it.
It's so gross. Wow. Anywho. Oh, this is so cute. I just got 3 merch orders on my website. Thank you, you guys.
Yeah.
It's like you have an old one. That's so sweet. Good job, you guys. Whoever just did that, I will find out later. Good. Wow. Guys, we've been going at this for 2 hours and 11 minutes now. So we ended at 2:22. And answer any little fun things or let anybody ask any other random questions before we go. Here's one. Do you guys ever get threatened or harassed? CK. I feel like we don't have time for that. Like,
that's a really long story.
But also like, sure, it happens. And when it is happening, we don't care because harass, like, a threat is only a fear of something. If somebody's physically going to do something, I'm going to film you and then you're done. Like that's like, I just need to film. I can jump on this live stream, I can go on YouTube and be like, I need to go live. I need somebody to witness this, like, boom. And nowadays that's all I have to do. So, and also we were all born and raised in this or really manipulated by it in the outside world through going into it through the outside world into it. So whether like being born or raised in it is worse or not, I don't know, because you're from the outside world going in, meaning like, oh, I've already been in the outside world. This is my mission now. So what's harder to, you know what I mean? But because of that, we also know what they're threatening us with. We know what tools they're going to try to use to make us feel nervous. And it just becomes sort of hysterical in an insane way. If that makes any sense. So,
boom.
Yeah. Boom. Yeah. Mic boom. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
I can't drop my mic. There you go.
Oh, I love that so much. I love you guys so much. Thank you all individually for being here. This was really fun and it was very informative. I'm so glad we all got to be here and talk and enjoy all these little memories. What a good chat from all of our little young heart cells that were never allowed to speak or do anything. Or ever.
No, I tend to, when I was a kid, I used to love pissing security off. I don't know how I did it, but for some reason I pissed them off every day.
Yeah. Well, they had their eye on you. Guys, yes. There you go. I bet you, I don't know if Summer Savage already went to the website and got it, but you can go to my website, LARA.fm. It's www.lara.fm. That's it. There's no .com. It's just .fm. And then go to the more merch little Polaroid tab that I have. And you can order what
she's like, order it, baby.
I should also do one more, but I should do a giveaway for sure before we end this chat, don't you think? And even everybody should also, all you in the chat, Liz, you're getting an SBTV shirt. Louis, you're getting an SBTV
Yay.
shirt. You're getting an SBTV shirt. We're all getting an SBTV shirt.
I love that it's suddenly like Oprah in here.
That's I know. That's where I was going. I'm glad that
and you get a car, and you get a car, and you get a car.
Only if Lara was in Maui when those Lahaina fires happened, she would have given her home to everybody too, you know?
Yeah. I'm like, come
That's what
take a
she would
rest
do.
here.
She's better than an Oprah. That's all I'm trying to say.
I'll go swim with the dolphins. All right. Is there anything else you guys want to say before we end the night, my sweet angels? We'll definitely do this again. That's a definite. If all y'all are, there's the little website. Go get your fun little merch and have fun. If any of you out there need a little phone number or a text line or anything like that, there you are, the SBTV LARA FM hotline. It goes directly to me and it's completely separate from my phone and everything. So you can text it if you want advice, if you need help getting somebody out of the Sea Org, if you have information on anybody or photos, you can text me pictures of photos of any cadets or, you know, just cadet ranchers, int ranchers, pack ranchers. I want to try to get any footage of any of the old childhood lifestyle that we had, like digging trenches, any of the work jobs, basically any photos, because we're probably working or doing something completely abnormal in the photos. So any photos like that would be really cool, or even just being in the uniform.
Why are they taking photos of children doing child labor?
I remember they took a lot of photos
to inspire other children and other people that are Scientology people to come into the Sea Org and be like, this is what you want to do. Yeah, it's
so when we painted
communist China,
right? So when we painted Pack, so when Aowale got painted, I think in like 86, 87, they were so excited that there was kids like helping them paint. Like I remember my picture was taken a lot.
That's so weird. Yeah, they're like, wow, these theta children. And then in this year, they're like, look at these theta beings.
Yeah, and little did they know in the background, thank you for the paint. I had to cut my hair off.
Oh, many other things too. There's like so many. We won't go there. I'm just gonna get crazy. Okay, my sweetie angel pies. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, everybody in the chat and everybody that's watching. And for all you watching in the future, we all love you. Please come back and listen to another episode. And I can't wait to have you guys all back. This is so fun. We can literally comment and chat about everything. And it feels really awesome and great. Thank you again. Subscribe, like to all the channels. We love you all. And we'll see you soon. Thank you, Liz. Bye. Oh, wait, guys. Wait, we should. Are we all doing Liz's thing? Wait, I have to press again.